Hey everybody, welcome back to Big Red EDC. Well, today we're going to be taking a look at August's affiliation knife, which is the Ka-Bar Becker Folder. BK40 is the number on this one. Had a suggestion from my buddy Zeb to check it out, so I was like, all right, we'll get it, we'll check it out and see what we think. So, let's just get into it. So there you go. You got the Becker folder. Now, you're looking at these. These are glass-filled nylon handles. And you can see there that it looks like it has some texturing, but it really doesn't have, it does, but it doesn't. We'll get into that. We'll get into the nitty-gritty here in a little bit. But you do have a lanyard slot on it. You got a GFN backspacer as well. Blacked out stainless liners. You do have an attempted at a wire carry clip, deep carry clip. It's not too bad. You don't have a whole lot sticking out there. The cool thing is it is 4-position. So, any position you want to carry this knife, you have that option. And you know what? I dig that. I respect that. So that's very cool. Overall, the construction seems to be pretty good. The liners kind of feel like they're a little proud. You can catch them a little bit, but they're not too bad. It's seems to be pretty well put together overall. A little bit of a rough spot right here on, there you go, right there on the backspacer there. A little bit of a rough spot, but other than that, it seems to be put together pretty darn well. Dual thumb studs, as you can see there. It's not a flipper. That's the only way you're going to deploy it, is with those thumb studs. Deploys pretty well. Got to give it some thumb for sure. You can really slow roll it. The detent, it's there. You can flip it open. So the blade's got some weight to it. So that seems kind of, heavier blade. You're going to be able to do that a lot easier. Now, if the detent was more solid, you could probably still flick it okay, because I'm not having to put a whole lot into it, and I can flick it out there pretty well. Centering, well, let's see there. Looks like it might be off to the show side just a bit. Yeah, it is. It's off just a little bit. But there again, dual thumb studs. Now, this is definitely not going to be a super dropper. So, in some cases, that's probably good for me so I don't hurt myself. But, yeah, it's probably not going to be that fidgety knife that you're looking for. Yeah, you can mess with it and fidget, but, probably not going to be the most fidgety knife out there. So now, we come to the blade. Now, this is where we got those thumb studs. They look okay, but they're just kind of there. They're pretty plain. That's a good way to put it. They're just kind of pretty plain. They're just there. You got the Ka-Bar, Orleans, New York, USA. Now, I know when I did the unboxing of this, there's your BK40 right there. They probably could have made that a little smaller and put it up here somewhere, but not too bad overall. AUS-8 steel on the blade. Now, somebody, when I did the unboxing, like I said, they say, oh, it says Orleans on the blade and China on the spine. Well, yeah, it's a U.S. company and it's made in China. That happens a lot with knives. It just does. We know that. You do have some jimping there on, and the jimping's actually done pretty well. It's catching my thumb. Yeah, the jimping's done all right. I'm digging the jimping on it. Let's see. Let's get a better look. There you go. It's not too overly aggressive. It's done fairly well. It could have probably, where my thumb lands, it probably could go out a little bit further, but I'm getting a little too far ahead of myself. And then, of course, you do have a sharpening choil there. Definitely do not really recommend you try to use that as a forward finger choil, because you will get up on the corner of that blade, and you probably won't like that a whole lot. But let's look at our size comparisons. So we're going to compare it to a PM2. Now, I'm kind of putting this one in the work knife category. That's where I'm going to put it. Could you EDC it? Sure, you could. But for me, it would probably fall into the work knife category. I did take it to work. I did use it at work. Okay, getting ahead of myself again. There's your... Oh, excuse me. There's your size comparison with the PM2. And we'll do the bug out. Oop, a little bit off there. There we go. So there's your size. Wow. My Saturday Night Live sign just came alive again. That did it when John and I were talking the other night. Grateful Panic. It just came on all by itself. It's haunted. Wow. That was weird. And I tell you what. I am going to throw this one up there just because. So it's larger than the mini Adamas, probably closer to the full size Adamas by a little bit, but I only have the mini. So there you go. That kind of gives you an idea of size. So overall specs. Have to zoom out just a little bit. There you go. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8.5 fully open. Pretty much have a 5-inch handle and a 3.5-inch blade with about 3.25-inch cutting edge. Grip length, point to point, you're looking at nearly 4 inches. Nearly 4 inches point to point. So, and there you go. That's kind of how it looks in my 3 3/4-inch hand. So I definitely do have some room left over in that natural grip area. Yes, indeed. Let's get a weight on it. That's what we need to do. I don't know, something in this room made me sneeze tonight. I don't know. Weird. All right. So 5.4, got a little weight behind it. 152 grams. And in your carry. Carry's okay. I mean, it's a little thicker knife, obviously, but you don't have a whole lot sticking out there. I know the wire clips are pretty popular. Let's just see. I do have my calipers laying here. We're going to see what it is width-wise. So yeah, 0.65. Wow. Yeah, it's a thick one. It's a thick one. Now, in hand, overall, now I can start talking overall. I was getting ahead of myself. You know, in hand, ergonomically holding the knife, it doesn't feel bad at all. I can't really feel that clip. Now, who was it? Screaming Pirate maybe asked me, did you see, asked me if I saw his review, and I said, no, I had not. And I still, at this point, have not seen his review. Apparently, he blasted the knife because he hated it. So, okay, fair enough. But my thoughts on it, ergonomically, it feels pretty good. Even as thick as it is, it feels pretty good in hand. It's probably a little thicker than I would want to use for a length of time. So, a little bit thick for me. Not too bad. Lockup. Now, this is where we have an issue. It does have a little bit of side to side. And, you know, I didn't adjust the pivot because, well, I don't think I'd want it any stiffer, any more stiffer, yeah, than it is right now because, yeah, that would definitely take away some of the action. Now, in using it and stuff, it hasn't gotten worse. It hasn't gotten any worse. It's been like that pretty much since I got it. It's just that little side to side, no lock rock. Lock up is, oh, I can't, oh, here we go. What are you guys seeing? I'm probably seeing, 30-35% on the lockup. So not too bad. Not too bad overall. But like I said, the lockup is fairly solid. It does just have a little bit of side-to-side play. And I really didn't want to tweak that pivot any tighter because its action is pretty good for what it is right now. But now, like I said, this is the affiliation knife. So you know what that means. So whoever ends up getting this knife can do with however they please, of course. But probably my biggest complaint with the knife, guys, is this. It's kind of slick. And it didn't really improve when it got wet, to me. So now if you're using gloves or something like that, might be a little bit better. It is a little bit better, I will tell you that. With gloves, it is a little bit better. But it's pretty slick. And those GFN handles, to me, it gives it a really cheap feeling. It really does. It makes it feel like a cheap knife. Now, they sell for $40. I mean, it's GFN, it's AUS 8, Okay, it's probably right where it should be, give or take a little. Maybe give a little. But, overall, it's an all right knife. It's not one that I would rush out and buy to have in my collection. I have to tell you that. I have to be honest. Does it work? Yeah. It does what I wanted it to. It did everything I needed it to. The AUS 8 was okay. It kept an edge okay. Stropped it a little bit. But, yeah, it just... This is one of those knives where I have that kind of just like, feeling. You know what I mean? I can't really say I really like it, and I can't really say I really don't like it. I'm just kind of, every once in a while, I have those knives that I'm just kind of like, I'm like, And this is definitely one of those knives. I mean, it cuts, it opens, it operates, it does what it's supposed to do. It does. But it just has a cheap feeling to me, unfortunately. And most of that stems from the GFN handles. It really does. So, whoever ends up with it, would it make a good beater work knife? Absolutely. I think it would just fine. A little heavy duty beater knife? Sure. Hey, and for some people, this might be their everyday carry. This is what they have. So, very good. And if that's the case, right on. But for me, it would have to be I'd have to pass. I'd have to have a hard pass on it. But get your comment in there, guys. You know what it is. You know what's going to happen with it. Like I said, $40. Blues Review Crew. What did we give it? I mean, it does what we need it to. So we're going to give it a passing grade at least. We're going to get a 7. That's a 70%. It does what it's supposed to. But that's about where it ends for us. It is comfortable. It's, this is just one of those knives, guys. It really is. I'm just kind of like, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I don't like it. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I like it a lot. It's just, it is what it is. That's about as best as I can put it, guys. I don't know. I really tried with this one, but it just, it doesn't thrill me. It doesn't make me angry, so there you go. But all right, guys, I've rambled on enough. You know what to do. Like, subscribe, leave me that comment. It just might win you a Ka-Bar BK40. Till next time, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.